Hi all. So in this video, let's see about the factors that affects the formation of soils. So first thing, the main properties of the soil that is that has to be kept in mind. That is the parent material, climate, topography, organisms that are present in the soil, and the time. These are the five parameters or the factors that affect the formation of the soil and the properties. So first one, let's see about the parent material. So parent material is nothing but that the material that one develops from the soil itself. So it is refers to the unconsolidated mineral material or organic material from which the soil is formed. So soils will carry the both physical and the chemical characteristics of the parent material such as color, texture, structure, mineral composition and so on. So for example, if soils have been formed from an area with large rocks of red sandstone, the soils will also be a red in color and will have the same feel as its parent material. And the rate of soil formation is also influenced by the same parent material only. So what they conclude is that it is the in organic material from where it is formed within the soil itself, we call it as the parent material. So next one is the next factor that affects the formation of soil is the climate. So climate plays the major role. So climate, it is one of the most important factors affecting the formation of soil. And climatic components like temperature and rainfall, precipitation are the major contributing factors influencing the effect of climate. So these components will affect the amount of vegetation and the forest cover as well as human or animal activity in that particular area. So the climate of an area will also affect the weathering process, which affects the soil formation process and the speed of the formation of the soil also. So this climate plays one of the most important factor for the formation of soil. Third is the topography. Topography is nothing but the shape of the land surface. We call it as the topography, and it's like the slope and the position of the landscape greatly influence the kinds of the soils that are formed. So the soil formation is also affected by the surface runoff or depth of the water table. So the soils that develop on higher elevations and sloping areas are generally exclusively drained or well drained. And the steep long slopes mean water will run down faster and potentially erode the surfaces of the slopes. So permeability of the slope material as well as the length, steepness and configuration of the slopes influence the kind of soil that is formed in a particular area. Next is the organisms. So all the living organisms including bacteria, fungi, vegetation, humans and animals will actively influence for the process of the formation of soils. So some types of microorganisms will promote acid conditions and will lead to the change in the chemistry of the soil, which will influence the type of soil forming processes that take place. So microbial animals decompose organic materials and return the products of decomposition to the soil. And animal droppings, dead insects, and animals will also result in additional decaying organic matter. And microorganisms is also helpful with the mineral and the nutrient cycling and the chemical reactions. So earthworms also contribute for much for the physical characteristics of the soil. They generally make the soil more permeable to air and water. So these waste products will cause aggregation of the soil particles, and obviously it will improve the structure of the soil. So man's activities like cultivation, plowing layer, use of fertilizers, irrigation and drainage practices will greatly affect the chemical and the physical properties of the soil and the formation of it. Last is the time. So time for all these factors to interact with the soil is also a main important one. So the formation of the soil is a continuing process and will generally take several years for a significant changes to take place. So the soil forming factors will continue to affect soils even on a stable landscapes, and material are decomposed, materials such as a few deposits on their surfaces, and the materials are blown or washed away from the surfaces, and additions, removals and alterations are very slow or rapid, and depending on the climate, landscape position and biological activity. So the degree of the aging depends on the intensity of the other four soil forming factors. Factors that slow the soil formation will include the high lime content in parent material, high quartz content in parent material, clay content in parent material, low rainfall, low humidity, and hard rock parent material. So these all will lead to the aging of the soil. Thank you.